Tasman Archer, sleeping satellite at 9:09. It's Zaheer Khan, and Rahul has already shouted out on Twitter. 311 Test wickets, 282 ODI wickets. Hope you take many more. Respect to one of India's finest bowlers. Thank you. Hasrat Ali, the voice that really makes up your morning, festive or non-festive season. We have this treat Hrishikesh served every weekday morning to us, and it's only because of wonderful people like Zaheer who come in here every morning. Vikram Alva, sleeping satellite, brilliant wake me up song. Thank you very much. I got to ask you, Wasim Akram keeps saying this, saying that if it wasn't for Imran standing in mid-on or mid-off and talking or sometimes shouting to him and Awakar, he would never be the bowler that he did. In your early years, I'm talking like 2003 World Cup, when you were a tear-away fast bowler, who were your mentors? Was Javagal Srinath a great help? Talk about those early days when you were starting off.
I think early days, I would say Dennis Lilly was a big help.
At the foundation.
I was at the foundation, and he really helped me, shape up in those years. And then, of course, when I started playing for Indian team, it was Javagal Srinath who was around, to help all the youngsters. And the thing with sports is, like, you always get to meet all these senior bowlers, when they are around, commentating and stuff like that. So I always used to make a point that go up to a senior bowler and discuss bowling with him.
Mm-hmm. And in terms of you mentoring the young kids, it's wonderful. I remember, earlier this year, both in New Zealand as well as South Africa, how you were mentoring the youngsters, and you really believe very much in the abilities of Ishan Sharma and Mohammad Shami and even Bhuvi. So talk a little bit about that. The future of Indian bowling, is it in safe hands?
Well, I mean, it has come naturally to me. You always, I'm always there to help. And as I said, like, I have this habit of discussing bowling, discussing cricket with other bowlers, and that's how you learn. Like, one thing is experience, and another thing is if you share things, you get to learn a lot.
Mm-hmm. And Graham Smith, your bunny. It was amazing to see this contest between fast bowler, left arm fast bowler, and left arm batsman. How did you manage to keep putting so much pressure on him? It's amazing. Talk a little about that.
I think more than me putting pressure on him, it was he himself putting pressure on him that he's facing Zaheer Khan. I would put it this way.
And you think, with the passage of time, with maturity, there are lots of people who turn around and say, oh, he's not fast enough. I remember you saying once, very tellingly, saying, I was never a tear-away fast bowler at all. And the variations was what you were all about. The maturing of Zaheer Khan, the fast bowler, over the years. A bit about that, please.
I mean, it also to do with the kind of wickets you play on. Like, in subcontinent, there's not really help for a fast bowler, in terms of bounce and when you have pace, and the wicket is helpful. It's a different thing. But when I knew that most of my cricket is going to be played here, and speed doesn't really make much of a difference, so I have to rely on other things, to get the batsman out, and that's how whole thought process started. And I realized that if in overseas conditions, you bowling 15 overs in India, to get the same amount of wickets, probably you have to bowl 30 overs. So you have to be ready for that and be innovative in terms of field set. So as I was saying, with experience, these kind of things come along, and with as I always keep thinking about wickets, some things just happen in due course.
And also, you're such a thinking bowler. I mean, the Duke ball, which is used in England, I've seen how you use that ball, and then you move to Australia, which is the Kookaburra ball, and the way you utilize that ball. A bit about that.
Well, I think in Test crickets, we across the countries, you use three different kind of balls. Like, there is SG ball, which is used in India. There is Duke's ball, and Readers used to be in olden days, in England, and Kookaburra in most of the other countries. So each ball behaves differently, and you have to stay on top of it, and that's why you see that there are certain bowlers who bowl well in certain countries, and certain countries they struggle. On TV you don't really realize, but it's actually sometimes they're not able to cope up with the change in ball. The seam is different, and to get the feel of it, it at times take time. So you have to learn to keep up with that, and again, these things came with practice. Like, you have practice games, you work things out. Sometimes a tour goes by, and then when you're going there to the same country next time, you actually know what you're getting into. So I think these are all combinations of the situations, but I was lucky in that way that I could adopt quickly.
Also because the Duke's ball in the first 15-20 overs really moves a lot. But in the Kookaburra, after 15-20 overs, it's a dead duck, isn't it?
Absolutely, and you see it all the time. Like you have to wait till the new ball comes out after 80 overs, and people who follow cricket closely, like it seems that you do. They know, and they know all these small little details which go on in Test cricket.
I'm having a wonderful time with Zaheer Khan. Okay, listen, now we're going to go into some messages and back. Pictures of him coming up at HRISHIKAY on Twitter and facebook.com/radio1.mum. We are going to tag his page, his Twitter handle, as well as ProSport's page and Twitter handle. If you have any questions, if you have any queries, you have any reactions to this interview, those are the places to go for. Messages and back with Zaheer Khan. It's 9:15.